What's going on, people? Sean Pierce Johnson here. We're at the NAMM Media Preview event at DAngelico Guitars. I am here with Ryan from DAngelico Guitars. This is an exciting year because you guys came back full force a few years ago, but you're doing something pretty rad this year, and that's solid bodies.
Sure, absolutely.
So tell me a little about what you got going on with these new models and what prompted the transition. Well, not really transition. You guys are still going to do the hollows, but what prompted the decision to get into the solid body game?
Sure, yeah. So, like you said, for the first time in this company's 85-year history, we are launching our first collection of solid bodies. We're doing so with 3 designs. From your left, it's the Atlantic, the Bedford, and the Ludlow. And those are available in 2 series, both our lower level Premier series and our high level Deluxe series. So they're available at different price points with slightly different attributes. The Premier series guitars are available at $699 MAP, and the Deluxes are available around $1299 MAP.
The specs on those are going to be roughly the same, give or take a few details.
Right, exactly. So body shapes are the same, and then some of the electronics options are a little different. Some of the woods are a little bit different, just enough to separate them in their lines, you know?
Very cool. So this model was the, come again with this model name?
Yeah, so this is the Ludlow, and the Bedford and the Atlantic. And to answer your question from before about why now, you know, we've been back for 5 years now, or 6 going on 7 actually, and we've been, you know, growing at such a rate that we had always been waiting for the right time to move into solid bodies as well, because it makes up such a huge part of the guitar market, and we didn't really feel like it was the right time until recently. And so now, you know, we have our own brand, we have our own aesthetic, we've kind of carved our territory out, so it was the right time to launch something as different as these are.
Very awesome. Well, let's talk a little bit about the specs. So let's start with the Ludlow, and this looks like it's the part of the Deluxe line. So what can we expect from the Ludlow in terms of specification, woods, electronics, things like that?
Yeah, so yeah, everything on the table here is part of the Deluxe series. So the Ludlow, kind of what defines this is, first of all, it's, you know, out there body shape, right? It's a very unique body shape. Kind of it brings in like the offset shape, but also the double cutaway because of the access to the higher part of the fretboard. So extreme comfort in terms of playability. And then you also have you have double humbucker setup, and these are Seymour Duncan DA59s, which are 59s that we customize with Seymour Duncan for a little bit, even a little bit more clarity. So they're super crisp and clear and loud pickups. And then the larger body shape and with the strange offset design gives it a ton of resonance. So this is a super resonant, ton of sustain, and easy to play model.
Very cool. Yeah, it definitely with the upper fret access. I'm not going to reach around fully, but I can definitely tell, like, wow, you can get right up to the 22nd fret on that neck, and you're not going to have a problem.
Exactly. Yep.
Now with this guy right here. Again, give us the same spec rundown. Here, I'll bring this a little closer to it.
So this is the Bedford, and it's you know, a very traditional offset, except again a little bit more of an extreme body shape. So pulled the upper horn up a little bit further up the fingerboard for a little bit more body balance, and the body comes a little bit farther out on the bottom right as well for the same reason. So it's a really well-balanced guitar, super vibey offset, something that looks like it was taken from the 60s, you know? And then the electronic setup on here is pretty unique. We have a stacked single coil in the neck, and then we have a humbucker in the bridge, and both of those are coil tapping as well with these push-pull tone knobs. So you can do everything from like a super spanky bright sound to a darker, you know, warm single coil neck sound. So very versatile guitar. Yeah, and this is kind of our offering for those who really like the Silvertone stuff from the 60s and really like some of the, you know, the Rickenbacker stuff, all that. We tried to roll a lot of those design influences into something that we thought was very DAngelico and very now.
You can definitely see a little bit of that Art Deco influence there in this particular body shape, which I think has some really great cues to that classic JM style body shape. But obviously with the single coil in the neck, the bridge humbucker, not a typical pickup combination.
Right, exactly.
Making it more your own.
Yeah, exactly. And we do have an option of this guitar in the Swamp Ash Natural with P90s too, so you do have that P90 option, but we liked the versatility of this setup for sure. And also in regards to what you were saying about aesthetics, we're calling this the F-hole pick guard because this takes up the same visual occupation as an F-hole on the semi-hollows.
And if you can't catch that little, that's the bottom of the F, people. There you go. I like this one. This might be the dark horse favorite for me. Now let's talk about this big black beauty right here.
So it's funny that you should use the term dark horse, because that's what we're referring to this one as in the office. I mean, largely, these were all designed over the past 6 months in 2017. Worked on them every single day. I was part of the design team. These are like my children that are coming out now. And the Atlantic was one that, it's a little bit more of a traditional single cutaway solid body, but it's got a very slim profile. And it's also got this deep belly cut here, which allows it to be lightweight. So we considered shoulder ache, but I didn't know how much I was truly going to love the body design once I saw it in the flesh with the raised shoulder and the deep cutaway. I just think it has a serious vibe to it,
Speaking as a guy who mainly plays the single cut LP style, similar, knob configuration, pickup configuration, for me, the thing that I'm thinking right now, okay, it's a flat top, so it's going to have a little bit of a different vibe to it than I'm normally used to with the carved top. But this would fit extremely well for someone like me who's used to that particular body style. If I were to decide to pick one of these up, it would be a very easy transition to make. Something where if I'm going to make the investment to get a deluxe line, I'm not going to feel like, oh, I don't know if I should be spending my money on that without playing it. This, any player who's used to the LP, the single cut style, anything of that ilk, could pick this up and be very comfortable making the transition. And it definitely has its own little twist on it, which is very cool.
Right, exactly, yeah. So it's super easy transition, and then I would go as far as to say, like, we tried to improve on some of the things that are part of those, legendary designs. Like, it's a much slimmer neck shape, so you have a slimmer neck profile for easy to play.
And it's unfinished on the back of the neck. Oh, that's what I love.
Yep, so it's unfinished, super nice there. And the tonal versatility is amazing in this, because even though it looks like it's meant only for huge sounds, it too has the push-pull tone knobs for coil tapping on the humbuckers. So you get really, really nice, warm single coil sounds out of it too.
And are these the same custom voiced Seymour Duncans as the
59s? Exactly, same ones.
Very cool. So these guys are pretty ready to be shipping out. Are you guys shipping them now?
These are available in March. At like all of our dealers. So, yeah, absolutely. Shipping soon.
All right, well, there you go. Solid Bodies from DAngelico Guitars. Ryan, thank you so much for taking the time. And thank you all for watching. You want to see more NAMM, you know what to do. Click that subscribe button down there or up there, and I will see you again real soon. Cheers.